This is the Crookedrivercast. I am Robert, and the other voice you're about to hear is Tom, and we are two guys trying to keep track of what is going on in the great state of Ohio. This is show 56 for the week of April 13th, 2026. Let's get right to it. Let's go. I got the date right this week. Good morning. In the morning, sir.
What's up?
I
don't know why I just did that.
The microphone does weird things to you. Put it in front of your face and hit record. I got the date right because I actually flipped the calendar this week. It's 1954 Gold Top month.
Ooh.
For my guitar calendar I have up on the wall.
Okay, it's something I can't afford and try to
most
think
of us
about.
can't afford. What was that run, Tom?
1954 Gold Top? I'm not sure. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I would say probably in the... Huh?
Tens of thousands?
I think... Yeah, that one maybe.
This one this one looks really good. Unless it's been photoshopped, it's probably in near mint condition looking at the photo.
For sure, tens of thousands. Yeah. I'm trying to, because like a 59 Les Paul flame top, you're getting into the $1 million range.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them.
Well, no, there's more than that, but they range anywhere from like 400,000 to, I think one just sold for like over 900,000.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Hope they play it.
A few of the guys do. But I think most of them are just held by collectors.
Petrified. $900,000 guitar. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think they're just collectors. They're investments.
Yeah, it's investments.
And how many players? I mean, I know Vince Gill owns one. Tom Bukovac used to own one, and then he sold it when he's just a studio guy. So he said he mortgaged his house. He got it for like $250,000 a decade ago. But yeah, he sold it, and he had it on loan from the person that buys it, because you can kind of be basically the steward of it, And wow. He used it for a while, and I see he doesn't use it anymore in his videos. So I'm assuming the investor probably took it, and he probably doubled his money.
Yeah,
for it. So
that was a Gold Top, because I think I've seen the
no, that was a flame top.
Flame top, or
burst. Yeah. Some people, I call it flame top. It's a burst. It's a sunburst with a flame top. 59 was the first year those came out, but a 58, a 57, you can get them a lot cheaper, but at the same time, it's still probably pushing 6 figures.
Yeah, I looked at original 60 bass Fender P bass. It was $73,000. I think that's the most expensive one I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fenders. I'll tell you what, I regret. Oh, I could have. There was a couple of chances I could have bought like a 60s Strat, but they were, even back then in the 90s. I couldn't afford like a clean one. One that was, I wouldn't say mint, but just really nice condition. Because they were pushing about 7,500 back then, but I had a couple of chances to buy there's like player grade ones. They're beat up, but they're still really good guitars, and you can get them for half the price of what a nice clean one costs, and you're still getting the benefits of. Some people don't think there's benefits, but I do, and You're still getting a vintage Strat. You're getting the way they play, the way they sounded, for like less than half the price. And I kick myself for not picking those up. They were about $3,000. And you know what? When you're 20, 21, 22, that's a lot of money back then.
Oh yeah, a lot of money now. Shoot, I'm in 22 now.
Well, yeah,
but that's just rent now. Now that's just 1 month rent now.
Yeah, but you know what? But like a clean one now. I mean, you're getting into the. If you're going pre Fender CBS, pre-CBS, they call it. I think that's 65 and older, I believe. I'm not an expert at those things, but you're getting into the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 range. And it's like, you could have had that for $7,000 back then, you know?
Well, I just said it's a house, and that slapped me. That's not a house anymore. That's a car.
It's a house in Cleveland.
That's barely a house in Cleveland. That's a really, really bad house in Cleveland. And a medium-sized truck.
Not totally.
No? $70,000?
No. Yeah. In Cleveland? Okay. Sure. I mean, it depends where in Cleveland. You could get one for $3,000 in Cleveland.
I mean, we went to last week, we were Columbus for a night. Girls are on Christmas or Easter vacation, so we decided to take a trip because wife wanted to go to Amish country or Hartville. I'm like, can we go somewhere other than, it's like, let's go to the city. Let's go to Columbus. I'm there all the time for work. So, but real quick, we got an Airbnb because most places you go, it's like a 3 or 4 night minimum for an Airbnb. Well, Columbus has like one-nighters all over the place. And I'm like, well, that's weird. But then you think about it. There's college there.
Right.
Parents come into town. There's
lots
football,
of events too.
Lots of events, lots of sporting events for parents, and then there's a football and all that stuff. So that makes sense. Anyway, we get this house for one night, and it looks nice. The pictures look nice. It's it's like an older house that they redid. 1900s. It was early 1900s. It was built. It's all solid brick inside. Solid. I mean, not just a brick facade like my house, but it's all brick. Nice. $450,000. Like we're talking of. I don't know, on the outskirts of downtown Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, it's kind of weirdest thing because it was kind of like the ghetto.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's being trying to come back from being the ghetto. So it's very mixed now. The house next door on the one side, I went in the back. I'm like, that house looks pretty beat. I go in the backyard, and the backyard is full of garbage, just boarded up windows. Zillow had it at $200,000 for the abandoned house next door.
Right.
I was like, holy cow. So it was a very weird vacation trip. It was short, but man, I was like I'm not sure. It was very mixed.
Isn't that kind of like being in Ohio City or Tremont here in Cleveland?
Yes. And
you're kind of like, you're right in the border. You could be next to the projects, but you're you're staying in a house that costs $400,000.
Yeah. But not on the same street. That was the thing. It was like, I've seen that you turn down one street and all of a sudden you're in, new built condos, and then turn down another street and you're in old, 1900s homes. But this was on the same street. But I mean, more power to them. It looks like this house. Not sure where. That's where the house costs in Cleveland. But anyway, so this was it was cool. It was a cool time. By the way, Columbus was nice. A couple nice restaurants, shopping, lots of shopping. So anyway, but the big news of the week, Tom.
What's that?
To the moon! We're back to the moon, Tom.
To the moon, Alice!
I mean, some would say we never went to the moon. I'm on the fence on that one, but it appears, according to what they're telling us, we've made it to the moon again, and we made it around the moon again. I thought they were having problems getting past some radiation belt. They weren't sure what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So apparently they're farthest a human has ever been from Earth because they did some deep circling of the moon, orbiting the moon, went really far out, slingshot back around, took some pictures. And I saw some cool memes did you know President Trump's face is on the dark side of the moon? Somebody engraved it. It's his mouth is the opening to the base that's inside of it.
His hair flips up and that's how you get in.
That's it. So anyway, that was they splashed down safely. Apparently, after 60 some years or 70 years, that's still the best way to get astronauts back from the moon is with parachutes, just like 1969. Okay. Yes.
Well, maybe this time we actually did it.
I hope so. I mean, always, I don't know. I'm so on the fence. Some days I'm like, no, definitely did. Some days I'm like, there's no way they couldn't. There's no way they could hide it.
I go back and forth. It's silly. It's silly to think they didn't, but at the same time, there's so many things
my initial right where I stand right now is I'm halfway in between. I'm thinking they did go. It just wasn't maybe the first couple times they went. I don't know. That's my thinking. But I'm working my way towards none of them are real. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. My biggest thing for me is how can you keep it that secret that big for so long?
It's compartmentalized.
Yeah, I mean they could do it.
They could do it easy.
They've done it. They have done it.
Yeah,
with other things. So But anyway, the other
how do you lose everything? All the data.
And lots of videos and film and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the film that came out with them going, hey, well, no, move. They're like behind the scenes or cut, stuff that was cut out that they're like trying to position the camera, thinking that they were in orbit but not really on the moon.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick filmed that.
I don't know. But more make believe is what more possible make believe is the Iran. We're in negotiations with Iran. I haven't heard any updates this morning as of recording this, but they were flying out there yesterday. Expectations were pretty low, considering they're firing missiles and we're loading up more bombs currently as we speak. Yeah, sounds to me.
I don't have low expectations
of the negotiations. I do.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Persians that'll screw it up, right?
The Iranians are asking for the war to completely stop and treaties to be signed before the Strait of Hormuz is opened, which is not what they originally agreed upon. They originally agreed to the ceasefire was to open the strait and then we'll talk.
Well, then Israel effed that up.
Yes, possibly.
It's always the Jews, Rob.
It is. You're the Jews or the Arabs, one of the two. That's all we could blame. And I mean, it's not a stretch. But was it their bombing or was it the fact that they never opened up the strait? Because the Iranians never opened up the strait.
I thought it was for
never. There was a couple of ships that went through, but not open to where it was before, anywhere close to where it normally is. And then the next thing I heard is the Iranians are now saying, oh, we don't know where we put any of our mines. Yeah, sure you don't. But you're able to send ships through because you can contact there's ships that have gone through. As a Russian flagship that went through. There's Iranian flagships that have gone through, or not Iranian, but Iranian friends of Iran have gone through and this and that. So they know where they're at. So they're putting, while not expectations, they're putting up they're putting up things that they want that they're never going to get. So you're never going to get the war to end and everything to be agreed upon before the strait is open. Sorry. I'd like to see the United States start hammering the strait and the shores around it because I don't think we've done that yet. So back to bombing next week, I'm sure. That's all about that, I guess. And then on to our Ohio stories. The first one we have on the list is Husted. Good old Husted. He gets a promotion, Tom. John Husted appointed to the U.S. Senate Appropriations Committee, the most powerful committee in Congress, as far as I understand. Maybe the Defense Appropriations, but no, it's actually not. It's the defense. The second highest, I think, is the Defense Appropriation Committee, which is a subcommittee of the Appropriations Committee.
So he got promoted to the most corrupt committee.
How did he get on that committee? He's a pretty new senator, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, as I quickly pulled this morning, maybe, let me step back for a second. We've been talking about First Energy for a while.
Yeah.
And asking where the money went, the $61 million that was supposedly given to politicians to get these bills passed.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking maybe if we remind our listeners what Matt Gaetz explained to us about how Washington works. Let's listen to Matt Gaetz on, this is Tim Pool IRL program from 4 years ago, maybe, or maybe longer than that, on what happened when you get into Congress. So this is Luke, how do you pronounce his last name? Radowski. He asks Matt Gaetz a question on, how this works and all this stuff. And maybe we can listen to the story, maybe kind of connect the dots and see how Husted got where he got.
So there's a lot of compromise, especially in Washington, D.C. But how deep does the rabbit hole go? Because there's a lot of people talking about, the deep state, the intelligence agencies having a lot of control, using a lot of extortion, special interest groups pulling the strings here.
No way.
What's your understanding of how things really work in Washington, D.C. compared to what the average American kind of sees?
Well, I think that, the most corrupt, foray into this is like freshman orientation. Because like you show up here, and I mean, imagine showing up from Northwest Arkansas, from like, Southern Mississippi, and you see the architecture of DC. They take you out to like the finest steakhouse, the best wine you've ever had, and co-located at your table are the lobbyists for the major special interests for the committees that you're interested that you want to serve on. So like I get here and they're like, oh, Gates, you want to be on the Armed Services Committee. Have you met these defense contractors? These are the key lobbyists that round up the defense money. And they put you with them from the very beginning. And you sort of get the joke that if you give your vote card to the leadership and your calendar to the lobby corps, you just kind of get enveloped into a system that's there to nurture you and protect you and keep you out of harm's way. And all it costs you is your own belief set. And I don't think that's compromise so much as selling out. Now, so that is like,
what if you don't?
Step one. And that catches a whole lot of the people who get here. And then beyond that, if you kind of resist that system, then they do try to extort you, engage in anything they can do to compromise you, cancel you, find some joke that you liked on Instagram years ago that like doesn't fit with the mores of this time, find some email that you were on like the forward chain of that's like some basis to say that you're a white supremacist or you're, some sort of unacceptable human that can't be in polite company. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, then if that doesn't work, it's abject destruction through the political process where there are many dollars lined up solely for the extermination of those who push back against the narrative.
Yeah, this is detailed extensively in books like the Economic Hitman that I think are definitely worth reading and checking out here. But talking to previous members of Congress, it's really kind of daunting to see what they have to go through, how much pressure they have to go through, how much agreement they have to agree to before even getting into some of those positions of power.
Well, and the dues, it's money. I mean, there's specific dollar amounts. I mean, I remember, going in and saying, well, I want to be on the Armed Services Committee. And someone looked me dead in the eye and said, well, that'll be $75,000 that you owe to the leadership funds and to the Republican Congressional Committee. Wow. And so, I go home and think, well, part of you wants to say, screw you, or like, are you wearing a wire?
So how does a new senator get on the Appropriations Committee?
Sell out.
Questions. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just weird that normally you gotta put some time in or money. And if what Matt Gaetz says is even remotely true, Husted will serve each of the following subcommittees: Labor, Health and Human Services, Education and Relations Agencies, Architecture, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration and related agencies, State, Foreign Operations and related programs, Interior, Environment and related agencies, Legislative Branch, Financial Services, and General Government.
That's a lot for a new guy.
I didn't know. I mean, wow, there's a lot of committees. There's a Legislative Branch Committee. Isn't that like your job? Okay, so that's just one of the reasons I brought that up was, interesting. That's a very powerful committee to be on for your second year in Congress, second, starting your second year.
If he gets, I don't know. We don't know if he'll get passed.
Right. If he'll ever get reelected. Right? Yeah. Yeah. In that case, well, I mean, I don't know. Protection money. I mean, they say you follow along and they will keep you protected as much as they can. And I see that all the time.
Okay.
That's what Matt Gaetz is saying. I'm just going by what Matt Gaetz is saying. Could be wrong. You
do what we say and we'll get you reelected.
Yeah, we'll keep your name out of the papers and so keep an eye on that. I don't know. Where'd the $61 million go? Just curious. Moving on to, well, Tom, Amy's got some ideas. Here's an idea stream story. By the way, that last story was by Husted, was from the Ohio Press Network. And this one, the idea stream has Ohio governor race. Acton releases lots of affordability ideas, but few specifics on funding.
Act on lowering costs. That's her title of her program, or whatever you want to call it.
Build Back Better. So let's hear from
the. Look, she took her name and made a.
She did an ironic thing with her name.
Say quit lowering costs. Because she quit.
She quit,
Never mind.
I got it. It'll land eventually. Let's hear from the idea stream on some of Amy's ideas. What is she going to act on? See what I did there? That was so funny.
Democratic gubernatorial candidate Amy Acton has rolled out her plan that she says would make Ohio more affordable. It includes a refundable earned income tax credit, child care tax credit, and medical debt forgiveness.
Does she know she's a Democrat?
Says these can be paid for by making them priorities. Many elements are in bills proposed by State House Democrats. Connie Luck, with Republican governor candidate Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign, says Acton's plan would mean higher taxes and bigger government. But Acton says it's Ramaswamy's policies that would hurt Ohioans.
I think he's frankly a danger, a real danger. His leadership is to Ohio. He has no idea of how to do this.
Ramaswamy has proposed eliminating the income tax and rolling back property taxes to pre-pandemic levels. Joe Ingles at the Ohio Public Radio Statehouse News Bureau.
I know you are, but what am I?
Sorry, sounded like she was hammered there. I just can't help it. I know she's probably not, but still sounds like I can't take her seriously. Again, she wants to make everything tax cuts. Does she know she's a Democrat? There's no way she's going to get through.
Did you go on her website?
No.
Protect against attacks on Medicaid and Medicare from Columbus and Washington. Reduce prescription drug prices. Forgive medical debt. Lowering healthcare premiums. Crack down on surprise billing and aggressive collections. Tackling high energy bills. Put consumers first. And then there's a bunch of other things here. A lot of her things are actually kind of MAGA.
That's what I'm saying. Tax cutting. Her main point is she wants to cut taxes. That's like, okay. Now we're going to have a battle over which governor's going to cut more taxes. Well, in that case, let's go, baby. Let's see what they really do. But Amy says on utility costs, Acton said she'll push for enhanced energy production of the lowest cost and cleanest sources of reliability available. So that tells me you're going to get rid of the windmills and the solar farms then, right?
No.
She said she'll expand access to cost-saving programs to lower-income Ohioans. Kind of already have that. And restore energy efficiency program cuts in House Bill 6. Wait, you're bringing up House Bill 6 as in your policy statements? Wow. Can you read the room, Amy? Acton also said she wants more guardrails for data centers, including demanding they pay extra utilities and environmental costs and require union workers construct those facilities. Okay, that I can get aboard with more guardrails and data centers and stuff like that. The union thing, hey, whatever, fine. Good luck finding even the union guys to work, but House Bill 6, that's shocking. She wants to bring back parts of House Bill 6.
What's House Bill 6?
Oh, House Bill 6 is the one they just repealed finally. The House Bill 6 is not Husted, but is
Marino?
No, the First Energy.
Okay. Yeah,
that was what First Energy hired Randazzo for. They supposedly bribed him or didn't bribe him. According to First Energy itself, they bribed him, but nobody actually did the bribing. Only the dead guy. And that's where you're talking about $61 million for Husted.
Okay. Thanks for the reminder.
Went to the $61 million went to legislators, they told us in all these news articles, but never told us which one, except for the householder who's spending time in jail. And then the two guys who killed themselves. Quotes, air quotes, killed themselves. So yeah, that's crazy that she would bring up House Bill 6. But that's okay. That's Amy Acton. She's got plans. I haven't seen anything really from.
Wait. No, she doesn't have plans. She just has things she said.
She has ideas.
Okay. I think
which
she's
are different
just
than
saying
plans,
things
yes.
people want to hear.
Yeah, I got plenty of ideas, Tom, and I spew them through this mic weekly, and most of them are worth about that much. But yeah, she's got ideas, but as the is an idea stream says, but not many specifics on funding them, other than we're going to make these things priority. Okay, you make everything a priority, then nothing's a priority. Moving along, Anything else, Tom? Good.
Yeah.
Because the next one, we got 4 people running for Ohio Secretary of State. There is a News Channel 5 article, and our good old buddy Morgan is in rare form this week. So she goes through this story on the 4 candidates: 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans. Actually, that's why when we were coming on this morning, I was listening to some of the raw interviews. And to her credit, she put up all the raw videos.
Yeah, but she knows nobody watches that.
Right. Yeah, but they don't even do that, and they cut, because I'm looking at, listen, you'll hear the clip from the news article, news report about, she's being Morgan. What am I saying? Let's just get right to the clip.
Ohio will soon have a new chief elections officer.
Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trow introduces us to the 4 candidates on the May ballot for Secretary of State.
We asked the 2 Democrats, Cincinnati doctor Brian Hambly and lawmaker Allison Russo, the same question as the 2 Republicans, Treasurer Robert Sprigg and Air Force veteran Marcel
that means it's fair, then.
What do you think right now is the greatest threat to elections?
Voters in Ohio cannot influence their politicians because of gerrymandering.
Active disinformation about the security of our elections.
That the populace trust the elections.
A hodgepodge of Board of Elections who interpret how they qualify information differently.
Do you think that mail-in voting is fraudulent?
Both the Democrats supported mail-in voting, while both Republicans said that it should only be for specific cases.
And you're always a little bit suspicious because you don't know if the person on the other end of that mail-in ballot is the elector.
Please cite some cases of mail-in fraud in Ohio.
In Ohio. Well, we know that this happens every year. Matter of fact,
when?
I can't give you, if you give me time, I can get back to you.
The Democrats said that there is no widespread voter fraud in Ohio, which is confirmed by the current Republican Secretary of State.
Who won the 2020 election?
Joe Biden.
Both Republicans wouldn't answer.
I will say that we know we did elections right here in the state of Ohio. I'm not sure about the other states.
Joe Biden was certified to be the president. That doesn't mean that 100% or 50% of people believed in the outcome of the result. That's the problem.
But
the problem is, no, it's not about me. You understand? It's not about me. You're wanting to localize that question about me.
But you are running for Secretary of State.
Each candidate, regardless of party, said the Secretary of State shouldn't be partisan. And they all said that they didn't want the federal government to take over Ohio elections. At the Ohio State House, I'm Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trow.
Twat!
Thanks for the reminder. Why can't they answer that question? Why Republicans get tripped up on that question? Joe Biden won the election. You know,
well,
when
he did.
When a cheater wins, they do win.
Yeah,
technically. So that I don't understand why they. I think honestly now it just kind of popped in my head. Maybe they don't want Trump to hear them say Joe Biden won. Just a thought, because he might post something on Truth about
maybe. I mean, they should figure out a way to answer that without sounding like a lunatic.
Yes, he won by cheating.
Well, you don't know. They didn't cheat.
No.
He won, right?
Yeah.
Well, they might have skipped some procedure. They may have leveraged mail-in voting, where there's a lot of fraud.
They may have had hundreds of thousands of more votes cast than people.
Yeah, but none of that's been proven, really.
Well,
it hasn't really gone anywhere, so you can't say that stuff until there's a.
That's been proven, hasn't it?
Oh, okay.
I mean, all you got to do is look at how many people voted and how many people are on the voter rolls, and if it's 10,000,
yeah,
more,
but you got to. Before you start using stuff like that, they can.
They do, yeah.
You know,
good point. They shouldn't, but there's an answer to that, and they've got lots of money into public relations people that should be able to answer that question. That should be able to help them answer that question.
Well,
and
I didn't do a good job there, but there is a way to answer that without sounding like a lunatic or saying they cheated.
Something other than Biden by cheating. I get that, but there's got to be. Yeah, he won. Doesn't mean it was legit.
No, that's not even a good way to approach that. You can't say that. You really can't say that. Not if you're running.
Yeah,
because you're going to get rid of the people that are in the middle.
Yeah,
you can't do that. You can do it if you're Rob and you're on a podcast.
I understand.
Or if you're Tom, but you can't
the
do
way
that
they
if you're
answer
running.
it is, to me, worse, because then you lose the people in the middle and everybody else.
I don't think they lost anybody else. I mean, I'm just
not all of them, but you know what I mean. To me, I'm going to go.
He didn't lose me. I like the way Stribic. I think it's pronounced Stribic.
Yeah, Stribic.
I like that guy. He answered it the way, and she edited that. I mean,
yeah, that's what gets to the point where at least she put the full. That's kind of why I just noticed that this morning, and I should have pulled the rest of it to compare, but I didn't. I just have to.
Sprague was the one that was kind of dodging things there. Stribic was pretty good. I don't know what the rest of his answer was like because she cut it there. I didn't listen to the interview.
Yeah, and imagine if considered she cut it, it was probably pretty good.
Exactly. Exactly. She's being a little activist, and that's what they got to deal with. So it's really difficult to try to maneuver around questions like that can easily make you sound like you're what?
Make you sound like Hillary Clinton.
What do you mean?
Like she was complaining for 2 years after she lost. How she didn't lose.
No, not complaining, but I mean, you could conspiratorial.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't want to sound conspiratorial. I guess that's the best way to say. I mean, you could point to all the things that maybe there could be fraud, but I don't think you can just throw that stuff out there.
A Republican
like
can't.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. That's because of the media.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Unless you're Hillary Clinton, then you can say anything you want, and they're like, "Oh, poor Hillary."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you question anything that a Democrat won, and oh my gosh, you're a denier. Yeah, well, you've been denying some. You've been denying every Republican presidential win since 2000. So
yeah, the thing is, if somebody says that, if they're Republican, they say that, and they hit it hard, and they do a real good job at it. It's meat for the base, you know. It's not exactly something that wins over the people in the middle. I guess. Yeah. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's hard to maneuver that, man.
Yeah, I think I would just say Joe Biden and be done with it because technically that's the correct answer.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Boy, beat around the bush, but anyway, that was a good.
Beat around the bush? That was fun because you're running. That's why. That's the hard part.
And that's one of the reasons I would be a horrible politician, but also one of the things that makes Trump a great politician.
Yeah.
He gets away with it because of his previous 40 years in the media. You know, he can handle the media and he has the ability to get past all that. With most people, I get it. I mean, Stribic isn't going to be able to do that, but
no, he won't be able to do that.
The public.
Well, there's that, and the other thing is they went so hard at Trump that people were like, "Oh, okay, this is retarded."
Yeah. All right. What is our biggest threat to elections right now? Mail-in ballots, I believe.
Morgan Trow.
They're fine. Mail-in ballots are fine, Tom. They're perfectly fine. Perfectly good. No, nothing to see here.
I think Ohio's is
pretty good.
Pretty darn good compared to other states.
But for the politician to say there's voter fraud every election, and for Morgan to say, "Well, give me one week," I get the question, but we all know it happens. Maybe very little in Ohio, but for her to come back, give me one. It's like,
yeah. That's just twatty.
Yeah,
I have another word for her, but
yeah, I mean, family friendly. Twat's kind of bad. Twat's kind of bad enough. As I was saying that, I was like, oh wait. Anyway, moving on. Secretary of State. I like Stribic. I think he's the like kind of the long shot.
I've been thinking about do I really want to talk about the people I'm going to vote for, on this podcast? Oh. But I mean, because I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Up to you.
Whatever.
I don't know if I'm going to. I'm just wondering if he's
the only guy. He's the only reason I'm thinking of going to vote in the midterms, or the not the midterms, the primary.
Primary. Oh, I see. Yeah, because the gubernatorial is kind of set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He seemed. I see. He got some endorsement from Michael Flynn. Stribich did.
Yeah.
I had that as original story in a lineup, and then pulled it out for this one because Morgan was much more entertaining.
Marino endorsed him too.
Okay, yeah, that's
so
actually
he's actually doing. I thought Sprague was going to run away with this, but I think he's doing really good against Sprague. Stribich is doing really well. Surprisingly, I didn't think he had the money behind him, but it looks like he might.
Well, if he's getting endorsements from
Marino's a big one, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Flynn's cool, but yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. Well, Flynn's cool, but it's not exactly like most people don't know who he is even.
Right. Yeah. So Ohio politician. Yeah, that's huge. Marino's a big name too. So see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't even know where the polling's at. I didn't even look it up.
I don't know if there's any polling for that.
Yeah, it's true. It seems like they're just waiting.
The state treasurer, right? No, not treasurer.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. Yeah, it's not I don't know if there's any polling for that.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that. That'll be a nice race to might see some surprises there. And moving on to the next story, which of course is probably the most exciting topic for our listeners out of all of them. I'm sure, completely positive on that. School funding. School funding, everybody. You got to talk about it again. I just love talking about school funding. It's so much fun. But it does kind of open up your eyes to how messed up things are in our tax system and all that stuff. So here we have a story from Fox 8, which is, the sky is falling. What are we going to do if we abolish property taxes? What is going to happen? Will we live? Is the only thing holding up the sky property taxes? It seems that way because it seems like without it, we're not going to be able to do anything. It's going to be chaos. Cats and dogs living together. It's going to be crazy. And let's hear from Fox 8 on the chaos. If Ohio abolishes property taxes, how would it impact schools and the metro parks? It's from Fox 8. Clip.
If we stay on this path of ever-increasing property taxes, they're going to price me out of my home.
Brian Massey and Leonard Gilbert are co-founders of a movement offering a referendum that could make it to Ohio voters in November.
There is a very basic goal, and that is the absolute elimination of property taxes throughout the state of Ohio.
It is an effort that, if passed, the State Office of Budget and Management calculates would have catastrophic impacts on essential local services.
We got to support our local kids, and we got to support fire and all our first responders and the police.
By eliminating property taxes and not having a plan to make up that gap, it's going to make your community less safe.
I also am empathetic to the fact that nobody wants to increase their taxes. I get that. But unfortunately for us, that's the only way that we can gain additional revenue in our schools.
The State Office of Budget and Management estimates communities across the state would collect a combined $24 billion less each year, 3/5 of which supports already struggling local school districts.
67% of our budget is based on local property tax. So that's a difficult one to overcome when you talk about how else do you generate dollars. That's 2/3 of our budget.
Not impossible.
The report suggests police and fire services would be dramatically impacted, particularly in smaller communities and townships with station closures, reduced staffing, and slower response times. And property taxes and levies also help support libraries and parks.
We are part of the economic engine for this community, and without the support, if this ballot initiative were to pass, we wouldn't exist in the fashion that we do today.
That includes Cleveland Metro Parks, where more than 60% of their budget comes from a property tax renewal levy that overwhelmingly passed in November.
And when we think about the potential of losing 60% of our funding, there will have to be either severe cuts or actual closures.
Parks like Edgewater Beach, which the Metro Parks maintains and operates,
literally showing
potentially reverting to what it was
the
before they took over.
Those amenities that you have, they will cease to exist. There won't be anybody to take care of them.
The state says compensating with higher sales and income taxes are not viable solutions.
There you go.
You have to raise the sales tax to some astronomical amount. So you're going to pay for this one way or the other.
If you raise the rate, people will leave the state and shop elsewhere. So he knows that everyone in Northeast Ohio is going to go to Pennsylvania. If you have a 20% Ohio sales tax rate, you'd actually raise less revenue by raising the sales tax to such an oppressive level.
If you confirm that you do not want to pay property taxes and it passes, the state will have to find a way to fill $22 to $24 billion worth of funding.
No kidding.
Right now, there isn't a proposal that I have seen that addresses that number at this point in time.
Dave Nethers, Fox 8 News.
Oh, my God.
You big dummy.
No kidding, really? We're going to have to come up with more money? No kidding, really? That's the whole point, you Dumas. That's the whole point, is to force you guys to do something about a broken system. And you just keep wanting to put Band-Aids on it. But one community, multiple communities, actually. So what would happen without property tax? Well, oddly enough, one city, very close to us, Tom, Parma City Schools to eliminate property tax levies, but only if voters approve an income tax.
Right.
This is kind of what we're talking about. But Parma's going even a little further. And let's, I guess I don't want to ruin my clip. I'll spend all that time clipping it. Let's listen to what Channel 5 News, of course, it's very heavy this week with Channel 5 for some reason. They've got, let's hear from their story about Parma wants to put in a 1.75% earned income tax with a twist. Oops, sorry.
The Parma community is weighing in on a proposed income tax levy, one the local school superintendent says is necessary to keep the district afloat. News 5's Kaylee Olivas covers Cuyahoga County for us. She is speaking with those both for and against that new tax tonight.
This is the investment that needs to be made for the future of 9,000 students.
And after more than a decade of failed Parma City school levies, the most recent being this past November, the proposed investment needing to be made comes in the form of an earned income tax levy, a first of its kind for this community to consider.
We had some discussions around some higher percentages. We landed on the 1.75.
That 1.75% would only apply to wages, salaries, and self-employment income starting next year. To incentivize voters to say yes, the school board passed a resolution in mid-March, essentially promising it would eliminate 3 property tax levies set to expire in 2030, 2031, and 2034. Collection on these would end January 2028. But even then, when I asked a Parma group chat whether people would go for it or not, the overwhelming answer is no.
Levies can be good things, necessary things, but they push it with little real information. They want to build a school. They're not really showing any plans to make things better for the students, to make education actually better.
There's only so much money in everyone's wallet, and they keep asking for these exorbitant amounts to support them.
The school district confirms this income tax levy would collect a little more than $50 million as opposed to $40 million that came from the 3 property levies. If this proposal doesn't pass in May,
we will be in dire straits. And so the reductions that we're talking about right now will likely increase more significantly, and Parma City schools will look vastly different.
When you talk about reductions, do you mean reductions in programs, staffing?
83% of our budget is in staffing. And so ultimately it does boil down to people and programs that we have to eliminate to make sure that we can keep a budget in the black.
Does that change anything for you?
You know, it doesn't change anything for me, because that's always the threat you hear from everyone, is it's always about cutting people. And if we need to cut people, then we have to be judicious about it, and cut where it needs to be cut.
I'll continue to follow through as it goes for a vote on May 5th. In Parma, I'm your Cuyahoga County reporter, Kaylee Olivas.
So yeah, levy season.
So you're telling me they're going to get $10 million more
yes.
through this? Huh.
Yes. And
why is it 1.75? Why not 1.5? Maybe you would kind of even out and not rip us off?
I think they need more money, according to them, right? That's just one of the reasons they need additional levies to increase the funding. Not at current rate, they don't have enough. So this would two birds, one stone. Get rid of the levies and increase their funding. Well, my research, I'm trying to figure out what do people in Parma pay for property taxes? So on average,
Cuyahoga,
I think it's
right.
Yeah, but it's different per city because school levies and everything change. So it's
right.
In Parma, they said the average is like $3,300 according to Google. So let's figure $4,000 for easy math and to get a little bit above the average. So if 60 and I think 60 to 65% of Parma property taxes go to schools, so you're saving $2,000 a year, roughly.
Okay.
Your property taxes would get cut by, let's say, about $2,000 a year. A little bit more than that, maybe $2,200.
How much more in taxes would you pay?
Right. So I don't know. That really
depends on how much you make.
But if you're making if your house is making $100,000 a year, again, easy math, you'd be paying $1,750 a year. Is that math right? If you're making $100,000, 1.75% is $1,750, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a win in some cases, right?
Some cases, yeah.
Like it depends on how much money you're making, obviously. But I guess if you're making a lot more money, and this is Parma, so it's not like you're going to a very high-end neighborhood or anything. It's not like Solon or one of those places. But I think if you're making $250,000 a year, you're probably in a much bigger house paying more taxes anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. At some level, it doesn't work out. But at some point, if you're making $500,000 a year, you're gonna if it's $1,000 difference? Are you gonna
tax the millionaires and the billionaires?
I just want it to be. To me, it's a flat tax, so it's fair, right? I think the only problem I see with this, and there's a couple other communities doing this. I don't know of any other community that literally the school board has passed a resolution that if this passes, they will within a year before January 28, they will get rid of the three current levies. All the other ones I've seen are just adding on to, instead of getting a school levy, they're going to keep the levies and add an earned income tax. I think the only flaw in this plan is it's an earned income tax and not just taxed. Like, I think anybody who has taxable income in the city should be taxed the same.
Well, then you're going to go after people on Social Security and
I'm not going
pensions
after
and stuff like that. What was that?
I'm not going after anybody.
No, I'm just saying, because right now they don't get income taxed, not from the city.
So if you're pulling from your 401k, you don't pay income tax?
Not for the city, no.
No?
No. That's what one of our boots on the ground guys emailed us.
Oh, okay. I did forget about that. That's what he said in there? Oh.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I think, I don't know. I don't think that works with state income tax, but I think with city, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm fine with it, I think. I just don't want, I think I don't think you should carve out anybody out of the system if they're already paying, if you're getting taxable income from the city, it should stay that way. It just should be included.
This sounds like it. I mean, I guess, our boots on the ground guy has to reach out to us and tell us what he thinks of this, but he's a tax guy.
Yeah.
He because right now it seems like retirees don't really pay into this stuff for the city income tax. Like if you're retired and you're collecting pension, I think it's pensions. I'm not sure about 401.
But pensions are taxed differently than 401s, aren't they? Or no? I don't know.
I don't know.
I know 401k you pay tax when you pull from it, right? An IRA you don't. You pay tax. It's after tax.
I don't know anything about that. It just sounded like if you're on a pension or your Social Security doesn't get taxed for income tax for cities, city income tax.
That could be, yeah. I guess.
I'm not sure about like how 401. I don't have that.
Yeah,
and I'm not at that point to start looking into it.
Yeah, I know 401ks or tax. It's you put in before taxes,
right?
But when you pull out, you pay income tax on it. I don't know.
I don't know how exactly what the rate is. How it exactly? Yeah. Federally and state, I'm sure there is. Once it comes into city, I don't know.
And that's my point. I think if let's just say for argument's sake, you're pulling from your 401k and the city of Parma is taxing you on that, and you're retired, I think that's an earned income that should be taxed. If you're not getting, if say your pension doesn't get taxed by the city, I think that should stay the same. It shouldn't be taxed.
Right.
But if you have earned income and if 401k is considered earned income, then you should pay the tax on it because you haven't paid tax on that money yet.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just me though. I don't know. I like it. I'm actually going. I'm looking at it very suspicious eyes, Tom. I'm like, why does this sound too good to be true?
Well, because it's too early to do this. Yeah, I think they're trying to preempt the possibility of losing property taxes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think they're just trying to.
They also haven't passed a levy in 20 some years.
Oh.
So at some point, At some point, you got to. I've been saying this for a while. All these cities, like you've gone 15 or 20 years, and you can every year, sometimes twice a year, you get turned down for a levy. Maybe you need to think differently because people are saying they're kind of telling you, no. Average $100,000 district homeowner in Parma Heights, and Seven Hills would annually save $500 in property taxes with the elimination of these levies. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep an eye on this. This would be interesting to see. Kind of a little. Kind of had something like this in Lorain County, and that's kind of our next story, which added on to this from the Idea Stream, which is, it's levy season, right? It's election time is levy season, and Idea Stream has a little article here, kind of with a rundown of some of the bigger places. Stakes are high for some Northeast Ohio districts with levies on the ballot, on the May ballots. And they go through some of the ones that, including Parma, but Lorain City Schools is cutting more than 160 jobs, many of them teachers, due to losing the almost $6.7 million in state, local, and federal funds over the last year. And kind of some of this story is, they say tensions around funding are high locally and across the state. The Republican majority in the Ohio legislation has argued it's providing more school funding than ever before for public schools in its current budget. John Fortney, Director of Communications for the Ohio State Majority Caucus, in a statement Thursday, highlighted state data showing that even though schools have lost enrollment, their expenses are still rising. He says, for far too long, school districts have complained to voters about not having enough money, threatening to cut athletic programs and other extracurricular activities, Fortney said. Now that the game of leveraging levies on taxpayers' expense is over, they continue to malign the General Assembly for linking funding to enrollment and requiring results for the billions invested in K-12 education. Should the property tax repeal make the ballot and pass, these districts would only have themselves to blame for the consequences to come. And to that, I'd have to say only that.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Because that's the key. They're saying, well, they cut our funding. Well, yeah, now it's the state funding is based on enrollment, a lot of it. So if you're getting less people, kids in school, yeah, and that's kind of the gist of this article. They're basically complaining that the state isn't giving them enough, which I guess is an argument because they're not giving them as much as they want. But they call for cuts, and I don't think there's been many cuts. 80% of our funding from the state is by the state. This is Lorain Superintendent Jeff Graham. He says 80% of their funding is from the state, and when the state cuts its funding like it did, and the federal government cuts its funding like they did, I don't believe it. Did they cut education funding, Tom?
No.
They raised it by over $226 million in the state budget. And I don't think the federal government cut education, did they?
No.
Huh.
Unless
Maybe
they got
Lorraine.
DEI stuff in their school.
Well, yeah, there's that. But maybe Lorraine got a cut because their enrollment went down.
Yeah, could be that.
I mean,
right. Makes sense.
And I think a lot of the state funding is that if you've got a cut, it's because you're losing students. So, but you still need more money. That's kind of the whole point. Is they've been complaining for years about cutting. They're going to have to cut staff. We got to cut staff. Yeah, but you don't have as many. You have like we talked to Akron, I think, or Stark. Over the last 15 years, they've cut their enrollment like by half. But you still have the same amount of teachers. What are these people? What are these doing all day? What are these teachers doing all day? So keep an eye on that stuff. It's levy season. Look at your local. Send us what your local, place is doing. Local municipality or village or whatever is doing for levies or for school funding. Anything interesting like Parma's doing? Crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Send us what you got. Be interested to see what everybody else is doing. I like what Parma's doing, but I'm suspicious.
I'm still thinking about it. It sounds good. No,
Sounds
the more
good.
I think about it, I didn't really. I mean, I'm not in Parma, so I didn't really give
That's
it a
what
lot
scares
of
me.
thought.
It sounds good, and I don't believe them.
I know, but government's doing it
I
or
know.
school system. Or
I don't
whatever.
trust them one bit. And because, going on, this next story is just for fun because I don't. So here's a News Channel 5 again story. This one I just keep laughing at because I can't believe it's even a story. But hey, we're covering it. And really just to make fun of it because parents blindsided after a Cuyahoga County College Savings Program closure leaves funds in question. What? Get out of here. Let's see what News Channel 5 has to say about this stuff.
Spring, it can be an exciting time for high school seniors. So many look forward to college, excited to spread their wings for the very first time. A local family, though, was recently brought back down to earth after finding out a college savings account set up more than a decade ago was empty. News 5's Kaylee Olivas covers Cuyahoga County for us. She spoke with a mother tonight demanding answers.
The price tag associated with higher education, it's not getting any cheaper.
How much is college going to cost you? Around $31,000 a year.
Ariana Vaughn is graduating high school this year, and then she'll move on to Kent State for nursing. To ensure a smooth financial transition into her college career, she's working 2 jobs.
How's that going?
Good for you.
I'm doing good so far.
She figured she'd have a little more in her pocket, though, as she was automatically enrolled into a Cuyahoga County college savings account when she was in kindergarten. The county kicking off the account with $100, and then families could use these slips to collect and deposit more. Sitting in Ariana's account was just the $100. When her mom went to collect that last month, it was nowhere to be found.
There was no money, no account. It was closed. And so I went down to the bank to find out, and all the accounts had been closed out. I was stunned. It was a bank account. I mean, I didn't think you could just go in and withdraw money from somebody else's bank account.
Now she's asking, where did the money go, and why wasn't she notified?
I would just like to know what their ultimate plan was for it, because this is a program that was started in kindergarten, and the students are just becoming seniors now.
Hold on. You want them to tell you what the plan was? The plan was for them to start a college fund for your kid and give you $100 out of taxpayer money, and for you to take your money and invest it in that bank account. And you decided that after the program's been closed for 10 years, then now all of a sudden you want the $100. And then you want them to tell you what the plan for the fund was. I think you missed the freaking point, woman. The plan was for you to invest in your kid's future, and you did nothing, but now all you do is complaining. And then you called Channel 5. All right, moving on.
A long-term investment.
Do you feel like the county owes you answers?
No, just $100.
I think they should let us know.
So I reached out to Cuyahoga County on Wednesday.
They did, you
A
twat.
spokesperson tells me the program ended back in 2015, saying in part, quote, "At this time, it appears that most everyone who participated received their money. The county does still have a small amount of funds that weren't dispersed/collected because we could not locate the individuals to pay out, or they didn't respond to notices taxes that were sent out.
Yeah.
If your child was enrolled in this savings program and you've yet to see that money from the county tells me you can email fiscalquestions@cuyahoga-county.gov. In Lakewood, I'm your Cuyahoga County reporter, Kaylee Olivas.
So unclaimed funds. I bet that includes unclaimed funds. That's including the unclaimed funds. Kind of things. That's one of the things I thought of.
Yeah.
But come on, really? You literally called a news organization and then they came out and interviewed you over $100 for a program that was closed 10 years ago. Probably because nobody used it.
Slow news day.
Jeez, oh man. And I want to know where my $100 went. Yeah. Okay. So now you're gonna here's $100. Now your kid only owes $30,900. It would be $30,900 or whatever. She said $31,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like now you got $100. I'm like, anyway, moving on to something actually news oriented.
Got to pay attention, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. When anyway. Tell us what you think about that. How many did you get your $100 out for your kindergartner? Or did you notice that they sent you a letter and then you just ignored it anyway? Probably what she did. Send us a link. Send us an email. Send us something. Go to the website, crookedrivercast.com. Good Lord. Send us an email, your feedback. We've got some good feedback here and there. Got a little bit bringing in from last week and a couple emails here and there. It's always good to hear from you. Give us your feedback. Send us your shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Sorry, geez. Send us your things that are going on in your county, in your town, in your things. Let us know what in your thing. What the heck? Anyway, I'll botch this enough. Leave us a comment, subscribe, share the show. We love that you listen. Thank you very much. Moving along. Next story. Ohio AG is pushing to reinstate the death penalty. This news, Fox 8 story that they want to start resuming capital punishment and executions in Ohio. And I guess in the last, let's listen to the clip here. Death penalty from Channel 5.
Ohio's death row wait time is now longer than 22 years, with more inmates dying from natural causes or by suicide. The state's outgoing top cop is again urging Ohio to resume executions, but it's highly unlikely before the end of the year. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost writes in his newest annual capital punishment report, the de facto moratorium the last 8 years has made, quote, a mockery of the justice system and of the dead and their families.
I am aware of the moral weight of this debate, but this is the law of the land.
That was Yost in 2024. But Governor Mike DeWine has hinted at taking an even stronger stance against the practice of the death penalty. And now capital punishment opponents like the ACLU of Ohio are asking DeWine to grant some death row inmates clemency or commute their sentences before leaving office. Sarah Donaldson at the Ohio Public Radio State House News Bureau.
I didn't hear anything that she said. Did you hear anything?
I can't want to throw my headphones out the window.
I forgot to warn you. I'm so sorry. I even put her name in the clip title and I missed it. I just got to have my
what?
No, sorry, not that one. This one.
Harsh. Yes, that's better.
They both kind of fit, but I don't actually know that. But death penalty back in Ohio. Right now, the death penalty is the form of death penalty is just wait, you'll die. I don't know. What's your feeling on this? I don't
think the state should kill anybody. Yeah. I don't trust the state.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think we're on the same page on this.
Personally, I believe an eye for an eye, and but as far as it goes to the state killing somebody, I don't trust them, and I don't trust the DA and all that stuff, and
juries.
I
don't trust people because people are flawed. Yeah, I think I've moved pretty far on this one. I technically for capital punishment. I just don't.
Yes,
yeah, like
yes,
you said,
same here.
Same. Don't believe the system is flawed enough that even a slight chance that it's not true. I mean, I guess you have to have. I don't know. There have to be some crazy serious evidence for me to say, yeah, put him to death.
Yeah, the only way I could do it if I was on the jury is if I actually saw the person doing it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And no, not by video, because nowadays you can't trust that either.
Yep. I'll say normally maybe 10 years ago you'd said, okay, if there was video surveillance of it or something, you could be confident. But yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, no. There's too much jury tampering. There's too much evidence tampering. There's attorneys that want to climb the ladder in politics.
Yep.
Need to get this, you need to prosecute somebody. I should have said not district attorneys, right? Prosecutors.
Yeah.
Just whatever. I just don't.
District prosecutors, same. I think they're the same.
I just don't, I can't trust them. There's a Kamala somewhere out there.
Yes. And then add AI into it.
Yeah.
Add what I saw. The other day was AI version of If Friends came out today, the show Friends. It was just AI. So they put a bunch of clips of Friends scenes into the AI, I'm assuming. And it all came back and they're all just sitting in the coffee shop, looking at their phones, looking out the window, looking at their phones.
I think it came out yesterday or the day before. I didn't watch it. My wife watched it. And then I heard about it on another podcast. I forget. Anyways, it was somebody made a little movie with how the guy, I don't know the guy's name, Reacher, got in a fight. We talked about it, right?
Yeah, I think I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah, they made a movie with that Reacher and the neighbor, I guess, the two that got in a fight, using all AI, no actors, and it's passable, for crying out loud.
Yeah, wasn't it about something about bullying in your neighborhood or something?
Yeah.
Yep. They're going to start a business where you go in and beat up the bullies in your neighborhood or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was it's getting to the point where it's going to be really hard to tell the difference. It already is hard to tell the difference. Now it's going to get to the point you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's really close now.
Yeah. I guess it got the emotion. That was kind of the part before that was kind of a sticking point. Now it's actually getting the facial emotion and everything, the voice. It's crazy, man.
On construction site. So I just did some safety training, which I do every once in a while. 2 hours of be nice to people. Don't offend anybody. You're supposed to know what the other person will be offended by so that you don't say it. That's kind of the thing of it was. But they the guys on site are showing me, they took a picture of one of the guys working and put it into AI generator and made him dance like a belly dancer or something crazy like a mariachi, and it's like they're doing it in their phone. Like it's like they're doing it on site. I mean, it's not the greatest. You can easily tell, where the face is and stuff like that, but it's so good. Like for on the spot, I'm like, holy cow.
I'll tell you what, I've taken some of the stuff just in Grok, some of the photos I took back in the day when we had a studio, and it's making them come to life.
Oh, wow.
And doing a pretty damn good job of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy.
Very. So yeah, can't believe the videos, can't believe the audio, can't believe the witnesses, the jury. Yeah. Life in prison. Basically what it is now. And I can't remember why they stopped it. Does it say anywhere why they stopped it?
They were having a hard time getting the drugs.
I know that was a problem. Yeah.
That was one of the problems.
But
it's a shame because I do think, I do believe in it, but I just don't trust it.
There's 113 inmates in death row, accounting for 115 death sentences. Fifth largest such population in the country. In 2025, one inmate died, one had charges dismissed, and another was ruled ineligible for execution due to serious mental illness. So no new inmates were added to the death row during the year. Okay. I don't know. I'd imagine they'll probably and eventually continue and start doing it again. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let you know. All right. And before we move on to our next story here, let's calm it down. I think most people on death row are men, right? So
I guess so.
I guess the vast majority, if not most, if not all of them. So I think, and a lot of the problems I think is men are they don't like therapy. They don't like talking about their feelings. Maybe it's because of the atmosphere that they're in. And the Babylon Bee came up with a great idea. So let's hear what they're talking about. Real men's therapy.
For men, sometimes it's difficult to talk about your feelings. But what if good mental health was possible without traditional talk therapy?
Yeah.
Introducing Real Man Therapy, therapeutic solutions for men that actually work.
This isn't your grandma's therapy. We know what actually helps men get out of their depression. Kick things off at our wood chopping station.
Yeah.
Connect with others in meaningful conversation.
All I'm saying is that a squad of Marines could easily take out a whole legion of Roman soldiers.
You're not taking into consideration the tortoise formation rope.
Our self-certified man therapy wellness sessions also include a car for you to fix, sword wall, learn how to quote Tombstone, Bible reading, and prayer, advanced golf simulators, an old wizard who gives you quests, a tank, an old woodworking tool, board with little troops you can push around like a general, an anvil, a riding lawnmower, chainsaw battles, stuff for you to punch, a pre-recorded video of Matt Walsh telling you to shut up and stop being an idiot, P-51 Mustang, books about the Civil War, a gun, and so much more. So if you're struggling with anxiety or depression, don't go to normal therapy. Check out Real Man Therapy clinics today. Because talking is for women.
Yeah. See any problems with that, Tom?
The word gun. It should be plural.
Yes. They had me at tank. I guess to your point, I could say just one tank. What if I got buddies?
But that is kind of a gun, too.
Yeah, but it's only one. So, actually, they do have sometimes a mounted.
I can't drive two.
No, but what if you have buddies? What if you want to have tank wars?
Oh, wait, that's awesome.
That could pose a problem, but we could figure it out. It's okay. I figured it before after the listen about death row and all. I figured we can break up the monotony with little Babylon Bee always helps us out.
That was funny.
Before we move on to our next story, which is, well, there's a lawsuit, Tom. There's a lawsuit, and apparently, lawsuit claims ICE agents are illegally arresting immigrants without warrants.
Illegal immigrants.
It doesn't say that, Tom. It just says immigrants. So it must mean, the granny who just came over from Poland.
Yeah, okay.
So do you need a warrant to arrest somebody?
No.
Okay. So this seems a little hyperbolic because arresting without warrant. Yeah, well, you don't need a warrant just to arrest somebody. There are arrest warrants. You need a warrant to search somebody's house, all that kind of stuff. Well, ICE agents are, according to the claims, the lawsuit claims, are arresting and detaining individuals even before asking their name. Okay. All right. Yeah, lawsuit brought by ACLU. Oh, shocker. Community Refugee and Immigrant Services. That's correct. Chris is Community Refugee and Immigrant Services. You forgot an I in there. Illegal Immigrant Services. And all advocates for basic legal equity. ABLE. They really spend a lot of time and money on these things. Ohio and law enforcement firms, or Ohio and local law firms, represents immigrants who live in Ohio and were detained by Immigration and Custom Enforcement or Customs and Border Patrol agents. Lawsuit claims immigrants are illegally arrested by federal agents. I can't take this seriously because when they say immigrants, I know they mean illegal immigrants in some cases. How do I take them seriously? Well, let's listen to the Fox 8 clip and see what they have to say.
With a Republican supermajority in the General Assembly, Democrats are unlikely to gain much traction with this legislation. Still, Attorney General Dave Yost says that some of their proposals would be in the best interest of law enforcement. Responding to immigration enforcement operations in Minneapolis and the killing of Renee Good and Alex Preddy by federal agents, House Democrats are pushing a slate of bills to limit what they see as federal overreach.
This is about public safety. It's about our communities being able to trust law enforcement. It makes us less safe when people in our communities no longer trust law enforcement officers. And that is what we are seeing because of what's been happening in Minnesota and around the country.
Attorney General Dave Yost said the state is limited on what rules it can place on federal agents, but said some of the proposals, especially a bill requiring agents to wear identification, would be in law enforcement's best interest.
I think that it would be a good idea to have markings that identify your law enforcement agency on you for purposes of qualified immunity. That's an important fact and a legal determination on use of force.
On another proposed resolution, one that would ensure the Attorney General can investigate shootings by federal agents in Ohio, Yost said state prosecutors are experts at impartially investigating police use of force.
They're experts. Yeah, in Ohio, but not Minnesota. They're expert at looking the other way in Minnesota. Yeah, so they also have legislation, but again, not really going to go anywhere because Democrats and Yost did say that some of it was a good idea, not to put FBI or ICE or police ICE or something like they have in the picture on their uniforms and not just have plain clothes people. Not that it happens that often, but I'm sure it does. But I don't think that's what this article is saying. These lawsuits or these legislation is not talking about put ICE on there because they already basically had all that. No, these people want like name, address, phone number, firstborn, secondborn, wife's name, grandmother's name, mother's name. They like the whole thing just run down their back.
Doxing made easy.
Yes. Can you make it easier for us to threaten their families and their kids and all that stuff? It's a lot of what happens, unfortunately. I don't think either of us would really like the fact that there's masked federal agents on the streets, but they shouldn't have to worry about the safety of their family when they go do their job every day either. Nowadays, it's too easy.
For sure.
To spread all that information online. 20 years ago, it was a different story. So
you can get a mob riled up pretty quick online.
And even with their last name on there, even you go ahead and put their last name on there, they're doxing people that aren't that person, and that person's getting fired. There's plenty of cases of that crap, misidentifying, doxing people, and then it's crazy. So I don't know. There's got to be a line there, a happy medium, but in a perfect world, I guess it would be dozens of claims of them. Officers are allowed by law to arrest people without a warrant. Oh, okay. So what's the lawsuit about then? I don't know.
Shit.
Anyway, people. That's all they're doing is complaining. Moving along. This next one here is it was brought in by one of our listeners, but more of a producer. Sir J Stroke sent us this article. He's a what do you call him? A self-proclaimed canoe expert.
Yeah.
And he's excited about this story because it's the Gorge Dam removal of Gorge Dam is underway apparently, and they are starting the process to remove it and connect the Cuyahoga River because a lot of canoeists and kayaks people they would say you can't because all the dams they put in over the years it's kind of something nationwide that's kind of going on is remove all these old dams that aren't really doing anything. And kind of connecting the rivers and streams back to where they used to be. And most of the Cuyahoga, you can't navigate the Cuyahoga River. It's been broken up by dams too much, and this is just one of them that will be eventually coming down. It sounds like. Let's listen a little bit of the Gorge Dam from Fox or not Fox 8, News Channel 5.
The power and the beauty of millions of gallons of water rushing over the Gorge Dam brings people to Gorge Metro Park, but it's also caused environmental concerns. So a long-term plan to remove the dam brings mixed emotions to Michael Ronca.
I grew up here. It was part of my life growing up, but I'm glad to see it
removed, actually, see what's under it.
Cuyahoga Falls Mayor Don Walters says the natural falls have been covered by the dam for more than a century.
It's known as the Big Falls. Well, no one alive has ever seen it.
News 5 has covered the push to tear down the dam for years. In 2022, we talked with Metro Parks officials about a plan that called for possibly removing it by 2026.
The Gorge Dam currently has no benefits. It has no use at all.
It was originally built to produce electricity and as a cooling source for a coal-fired plant. But among the concerns raised over the years, 865,000 cubic yards of contaminated sediment built up behind the dam. Sensitivity about a clean Cuyahoga River has lingered for decades.
Many people still remember the days when this river was so polluted, it literally caught on fire.
So just how much is 865,000 cubic yards of sediment? That's equivalent to 11 football fields, each 10 to 12 feet high, or 260 Olympic-sized swimming pools. But change is coming to the Crooked River.
The Cuyahoga River will flow freely.
You can see the orange buoys in the water. In 2 weeks, the process to start dredging that sediment will begin, moving it about 2 miles away to Cascade Valley Metro Park, where it will be mixed with concrete and become part of the landscape. That process is expected to take 2 years and clears the way for the dam to come down. But when? Governor Mike DeWine isn't sure, but he's optimistic for recreational and economic opportunities.
And you're going to see more kayaking and more great opportunities for people just to enjoy the river. So we're looking forward to that.
The kayakers tell me that we will have nothing close east of the Mississippi to what we'll have here for the whitewater kayaking. So we'll be building hotels, restaurants.
In Cuyahoga Falls, Bob Jones, News 5.
Yeah, hotels they're going to build. Restaurants they're going to build. It is kind of a scenic spot to go look at the dam, but
I've never been there.
No, I don't think I have either. I don't think I have.
Pictures are cool.
Yeah, pictures are cool. But like they said in the article, there's falls underneath there. I don't know. Did they?
They're called big balls. Or, no, they said big falls.
Big falls. Yeah, it's different. Now, did they just pour concrete on top of the falls? I hope not, but we'll find out, I guess. So 2 years it's going to take to remove all that sediment. Like many swimming pools. They always use swimming pools as a gauge. You notice that? It's like the universal kind of with everybody. Oh, that means swimming pools. Yeah.
Because everyone's seen an Olympic-sized pool.
Oh.
I can, no,
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I'm being a smart ass.
I know you are. I was like, maybe. No, I don't think I have. That's big, though. That's bigger than, that's probably twice as big as your normal pool, as you would see, like your community pool. Okay. Much bigger than that. I think, yeah.
Probably bigger than that even. Probably 4 times.
Yeah. But many, that's a lot of sediment. Now, I'm kind of concerned. I didn't know you can mix dirt with concrete and it'll still be okay. That's what they said they're going to do, but I know they're not going to do that. But the sediment, they're going to move it to another part of the park and kind of incorporate it into some concrete areas and part of some other projects and stuff, and take a couple of years. And then after that, they're going to, I guess, decide whether they're going to tear it down or not. I think they've already decided that. It's probably just got to fund it. And maybe by 2030, it'll be connected there again. Do some kayaking.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. Very cool. I just looked up Olympic-sized pool just because I'm a weirdo.
Yep.
It's 160 feet long, 82 feet wide, and at least 2 meters deep, recommended 3 meters.
Okay.
Holds 660,000 gallons of water.
This meters you speak of is foreign language.
Well, yeah, I didn't write this.
No one can figure it out. Nobody knows what 3 meters is in feet. It's impossible to figure out. So cool. Good stuff. And I know all the stuff they're doing with the Cuyahoga River. They've cleaned it up so much over the past couple decades. And then we even talked about like the Irish Bend and stuff that they put up towards Cleveland that they're rehabilitating. It was collapsing and they did a bunch of work to it to reshore it up and then, try to tame the river. And they're going to put a park there, so you have more chances to get in and out of the river with your kayak or your canoe. So thank you, Sir J Stroke. We appreciate the help with the show this week. It's a good story. I like it. Metro parks are such a gem around here. We're something that I think most people don't take full advantage of.
I wonder if the people that put this picture of the turtles on the website realized if you just take a quick look, it looks like the turtles are humping.
Turtle sex?
Yeah.
I did not expect to go down turtle sex on this one. All right. This was not on my bingo card, but I'm looking at this going, yeah, this could be in some cases an X-rated shot here. I mean, or he's at least humping the rock, which is weird when
painful,
chafing issues and stuff. Turtle sex. I did not expect that as a topic. Okay, turtle sex. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, next. Moving along. This next one here, let's see. Scene.com, clevelandscene.com has a story here. Which, okay, let's just read through it. More than 8,500 acres of Ohio's public land approved for fracking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's serious. So, yeah, they're saying more than 8,000 acres at Egypt Valley Wildlife Area and more than 500 acres at Salt Fork State Park were approved to be fracked during Friday's Ohio Oil and Gas Land Management Commission meeting, which lasted less than 20 minutes. So they were like, yep, we're done. Let's see, 4 different bid sections were approved for parts of Egypt Valley Wildlife Area in Belmont County. Let's see, one section approved 513 acres at Salt Fork. And looks like the leases we put out to bid next calendar quarter. So they're going to put it out for who wants to develop that and frack it, what companies. So the poisonous fruits of fracking will now grow in everyone's backyard, says Save Ohio Parks in a statement. Several people booed and shouted in opposition when the commission voted to approve the bids. But they said they considered all the factors by the statute, and public comments are certainly one of them. And the commission chair, Teresa White, said, when asked how much public comments are taken into consideration, oh, that's what she said. We consider all of them. Sorry, I botched that completely up. But I mean, it went through the process. They approved it, and a lot of these places are going to get a little bit of money from it. So sounds like lease bonuses of $12,754 for Valley Run Wildlife Area, including 12.5% royalty, according to the Ohio Department of Resources. For example, another example, Harrison County should get a $2,400 lease bonus and 12.5% royalties, according to the ODNR. So it does come with some probably well-deserved money for some communities, depending on where it goes. Think it's going to go to the parks, or you think they're going to? It looks like it's unclear. It says Harrison County, but
you know what? Is it going to the county or is it going to the park? It's a state park, so I'm assuming it's going to the county.
I think part of it go to the county, and maybe other part goes to the state. Some other part goes to the state. Doesn't really say.
No, because this is like a lease, right?
Yeah.
Well, but you're leasing state park, so yeah, it's.
But state park, but the county lands. I don't know. Like I said, it does say Harrison County will get blah blah blah. So.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. And then are they restricted to what they can do with it? Maybe they can only put it in the parks. Maybe not. But I hopefully in some of these areas, it could be some well needed money to be injected into their local economy. Depending on how much they get out. 12.5%. We'll see. But
12.5% is pretty good.
Yeah.
The land lease thing, I'm kind of confused about because it doesn't sound like it's that much, but.
As far as their bonus they get?
Yeah. Is it like a signing bonus?
That's what it sounds like. What is it? 12
the lease
grand
bonus
like
is $2,400. I mean, that's
seem like a lot.
No. Is it an acre?
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
Just says for the land in Harrison County.
The other lease bonus is $12,000. How do they get that? Is it more land?
More land, yeah. So the Valley Run Wildlife Area is, what did they say? 800 acres? No.
Maybe it's
8,000.
Maybe it's like a maintenance bonus, like the park will continue to maintain it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Well, Egyptian Valley Wildlife Area in Belmont County, looking at 4,000 acres. About 3,800 acres in one area. No, more than that. 2,792 in another area. 849. Yeah, so quite a few.
That's quite a bit. That's a lot.
So, and that doesn't mean they're not going to clear cut all these acres, but they have the ability to put pumps and fracking units. And generally, I get it. It can be done responsibly. And these activists. Ooh, look at that picture, Tom. Look at that. Look at those great signs they had there. They put some work into those.
Boomers!
Yeah, they are blue hairs for sure. For sure. Every single one of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this picture. And okay. Thank you for your input. Can you keep an eye on these guys and keep them honest? Because we need oil, because otherwise you die, because you guys go to the doctor a lot, I would imagine. Right? A lot of plastic in the medical industry. I
have a feeling they've used a lot of oil over their years. They've been around a while.
Yep. And
before they started using oil. What?
Probably without oil, you'd be dead by now.
Yes.
So we need the oil, because without it, we don't have the life we have at all, and you'd be dead. But it can be done responsibly. It has been done responsibly over and over again. And most of what they do can be cleaned up, and then within a few years, you won't even know it was there.
You know what? I'm on their side in a way, as long as it's being done responsibly. Yeah. No, let me rephrase that. I'm on the side of the protesters, as long as they keep an eye on the businesses to keep it, make sure they're being responsible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like fracking all that much, but I don't want to, I don't want to prohibit a business to do it if they're doing it right.
Yes. And I think probably part of their issue, and usually part of fracking issue, is when they do it right, they still don't like it, because you're injecting. I don't know what fracking is. You actually inject a high pressure fluids into the rocks, into the underground, to crack it, to release more of the gas and oil and stuff that's kind of trapped in little pockets all over the place. And that's usually their issue is the water table.
Look at the girl from the woman, not the girl, the boomer from the second one from the left. Yeah. She hasn't liked anything in about 60 years.
Last thing she liked was Kennedy.
Yeah, probably.
And not RFK, JFK. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, please keep an eye on them. I appreciate it, but not to the point where you're going to ruin, our our lives as we know it. Okay. Come on. Boomers. They're just old hippies right here. I mean, or parents of old hippies, or kids of old hippies. Yeah. All right. Next on the list is another Cleveland Scene magazine, or Cleveland Scene. I said it again. Do they even have a magazine anymore? I don't think.
I don't know. I haven't picked one up in a long time.
ClevelandScene.com. Now, here's an op-ed that at first I'm looking at it going, okay, I can get on board with. It says, op-ed, Northeast Ohio officials must protect residents and reject flock. So if you don't know what flock is these license plate scanning cameras that are being put up all around the country in the state of Ohio. This surveillance technology is on the rise, putting Ohioans' privacy at risk. Okay, I can get on board with that. People across the nation, including here in Northeast Ohio, are realizing protecting our freedoms requires local officials committed to protecting our privacy and not spying on us. Okay, so far, so good. Okay. Unfortunately, many of our cities and counties unwittingly put residents at risk by contracting with surveillance companies to help the Trump administration suppress activism and target immigrants. There's the word again, Tom. There's that word again. Suppressing activism and targeting immigrants. The most notorious among them is flock. You had me until it was Orange Man bad, because...
Yeah, this is written by a Ohio ACLU employee.
Jocelyn Rosnick. Oh, yeah, Jocelyn Rosnick. Okay, that name sounds familiar, yeah. My question is it only a problem when Trump's in office? Because these cameras have been around a while. I think there are 100,000 automatic license plates readers, ALPRSs, in about 5,000 communities nationwide. So Flock was founded in 2017 by Garrett Langley. He quickly garnered high-level investments. It gets worse, Tom. It gets worse. They got some high-level investments from, you guessed it, President Trump billionaire allies.
You know what?
His billionaire allies.
I just looked it up because I know my city was thinking about putting one up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized they just did.
All right. So the cameras have scanned 20 billion licenses in a month. They do 20 billion license plate scans in a month nationwide.
Damn.
And the business model depends on users sharing data to create large networks. Now, I don't like this, but I don't like it when Trump's in office. I don't like it when Biden's in office. And then the next Democrat gets in office, I'm still not going to like it. And then when the next Republican gets in office, I'm still not going to like it. Whether Amy Acton gets in office or Vivek Ramaswamy gets in office, I'm not going to like it. I'm consistent. It's crazy.
What?
But apparently they only don't like it because Trump. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. So that's kind of the gist of that. They are. I feel like I want to agree with them, but you had to put in the TDS. You had to do the TDS. You couldn't have taken your pills today.
Jocelyn's a hack.
Couldn't have taken your TDS pills today. Jeez. Talk to your family about that.
Do they have those?
Yeah. It's
start sliding them into people's drinks.
Yeah. It's TDS-etol.
Holidays are going to be completely different.
Oh my gosh. Just thought about what you said. Yeah. That would be crazy. I'd like to come to that one, see the transformation on that. But yeah, so they're freaking out, and it's really just because, orange man bad. No, I think these cameras are not good regardless of who's in office. So it's lazy, it's lazy policing, honestly. And they just scan everything. And then what do they do with it?
Well, here in my city, it says it notifies the police within 15 seconds of a wanted vehicle entering the area, and then typically store data for 30 days.
Okay.
And it automatically deletes it after 30 days. But what do they do with it in those 30 days?
Well, according to this article, law enforcement agencies may also provide informal assistance to ICE and Border Patrol. Oh, no. You mean they want to get the criminals with the cameras that are meant to get criminals? So, in fact, 404 Media found the state and local police conducted more than 4,000 lookups on behalf of federal agencies, mainly likely focusing on immigration. Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Immigration.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we're doing. Trying to keep track of all those hardworking illegal immigrants. I'm sure it's nothing to do with. They were so good at changing the way the wording of names or the meaning of names or words. Until last August, Flock vehemently denied any formal collaboration with the Department of Homeland Security. However, an investigative report in Colorado uncovered a secret pilot program with Border Patrol where communities like Woodburn, Oregon, and Loveland, Colorado, found out their data had been accessed. Moreover, Wired.com found that ICE frequently uses administrative subpoenas, which are not signed by a judge, to request agencies turn over their data. So Meta, Google, and Reddit recently complied with such a request. Again, I mean, you're okay with these, social media companies, being controlled by the White House when it was your guy in the White House. But now all of a sudden, no good. Be careful what you wish for, because you may get the Patriot Act and then you get somebody like Trump in office and then everybody's head explodes. But yeah, they're saying they don't like the fact that you're collecting it, and then that federal agencies can come in and get the information. Okay, I agree with you. Let's just get rid of all of them then. Can we just do that? No. Sure. I'm sure not. So that's their beef about it. I see their point, and I do want to agree with them, but I just can't. All right, moving on to something else. Oh yeah, the next one. So this next story here is Channel 3. Yeah, WKYC Channel 3. Akron announces new public order policy. Here's what it means. This one kind of stuck out to me because my wife goes to Akron for work a lot, and they have a lot of protests. Every time the police shoot somebody, there's a protest in Akron. They're usually pretty good at that. And this is kind of what that falls around. It is a new policy that has been announced for Akron Police Department, which takes effect immediately. And sets clear guidance on how officers manage demonstrations and large gatherings, and focuses on protecting the constitutional rights of Akron citizens, except the ones that want to get to work. Prioritizing de-escalation and dialogue, and preventing and preserving public safety, according to the press release. Akron's mayor, Samash Malika, and Akron Police Chief Brian Harding. So why did they change? Why the policy change? Well, background. Let's have some background. Do I have an Akron police one? No, I don't. Oh, that's right. Background on this. So the policy comes after the city says Mayor Malik authorized a settlement to litigation brought by the Akron Bail Fund. Akron Bail Fund. This has anything to do with that bail fund that was going around during like all the George Floyd riots, where wasn't Kamala Harris advertising to donate money?
Yeah,
I think it might have been the similar fund, maybe the Akron version. It was a bail fund, and they had brought a lawsuit against Akron, the Akron Bail Fund, in connection with an incident that happened in 2023. So, curious. So here's this activist group that, from what I've heard from the mayor of Akron, I'm sure he's agreed. I mean, they're probably on the same page when it comes to sanctuary city and all this other stuff. So they had this lawsuit for an incident. And then what's the chance of this lawsuit even going anywhere? Or the city mayor just saying, we give up, we're going to settle. And the settlement is this. What are they doing? So basically, they're neutered the cops. So there's clear limits on forcing mass arrests, on avoiding unless necessarily due to immediate threats to safety. Okay. Less lethal impact munitions may only be used to prevent immediate harm to people or dangerous property destruction. Okay. Here's a big one. OC spray is not used against passive resistance or indiscriminately to disperse a crowd. Kind of the whole point of it is to indiscriminately disperse a crowd. So they kind of can't use it for what its intended purpose is. CS, which is tear gas, is used only under incident commander authorization with advance warnings and clear exit routes when serious harm is imminent and lesser options are ineffective. So you got to get permission. You got to make sure there's exits. Okay. Water cannons are not to be used as a force option. Okay. Oh, okay. There has never been in use. These have never been in use by the department and will not be used in the future. So good thing they banned them. Transparency measures, of course. They want identification must be worn, and body cameras must be worn in accordance with policy that they already have, sounds like, in place with Akron PD. And they will conduct after action reviews, to capture lessons learned and improve future responses.
It sounds like all of these were agreed upon by a guy whose name would be Shamas Malik.
Malika like him?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He really caved, huh?
it's a convenient way to get a policy, maybe a policy that you might think be tougher to get through is, hey, just if you sue me, kind of have to do something because otherwise it might cost the city money. And I don't know. My tinfoil hat,
I think he's gay.
You think?
I mean, he's married, but I think he is. Yeah.
He is. Well, I don't know what descent he is, but it sounds like he might be of Middle Eastern descent of some sort.
His name is Shamas Malik.
You know, I would never want to.
Malik Madik.
What? Whoa, hey. Got out of hand real fast. I'm assuming he is, but, you know, probably is.
No, he's married. He's got a wife.
Well, no, I meant.
Middle Eastern?
Well, yeah, I mean,
he's not from Kansas.
What do they do with gays in the Middle East?
Well, yeah, maybe they threw him off the building so far he ended up here.
Exactly. Definitely need a beard if you're a Muslim in certain places. But he actually has a beard, doesn't? No, he doesn't.
His full name is Shamas Iqbal Kamar Malik. Holy crap! What country am I in?
Well, that's why he shortened it. Oh my goodness. Yep. So that's basically it. They got sued, and the mayor said, "Oh, twist my arm. Okay, we'll put all these policies in place." So basically, the lesson here is, if you're going to Akron, look out for protests. Don't go there to protest because they just neutered the cops. They can't do anything. The protesters have more rights than anybody else in Akron, and you know, whether you got to get to work or not, or, you know, pick up your kid or anything, it doesn't matter. It's the protesters. Don't run them over either if they get in your way because you'll be evil. And that is, I guess that wraps up our stories for the main. Now we got to go into our favorite part of the day. Favorite part of the show, Tom.
We bring good things to life.
The good things segment. Nice. All right. What we have today, a couple of good stories for those, looking for work, I guess. And the economy in Ohio is growing. Things are changing. And I think we need to, when we listen to this clip from WTOL on the next story, which is Whirlpool plans $60 million Perrysburg facility, up to 150 jobs. The appliance maker to convert former solar plant into advanced manufacturing site over 2 years. So it's a 2-year project, $60 million. I would almost guess if you look into the solar plant, that I don't know if this anywhere except for just pulling it right out of my butt. But remember during the Biden, not Biden, or well, technically, but it's the same thing. But during Obama's administration, when they had had some big investment in solar, green energy, and it like almost all of them failed within a year. I bet when you look into it, I bet this is one of those places. So anyway, former solar panel factory that shockingly doesn't make the solar panels anymore after getting tons of money probably from the government, is now going to be a Whirlpool Corporation. And the question we got to answer is why? We got to ask ourselves, why is this happening now? Who could it be, Tom? Let's listen from WTOL in Toledo.
Whirlpool announced plans to invest $60 million in what will be a retooled manufacturing facility in Perrysburg. The plan is to open here. The former Toledo solar plant off Progress Drive was shut down in 2023.
One of the most important components are particular plastic components, from injection molding. And what this Perrysburg facility will do, and we have some experience in other parts of the world, it basically acts as a central production hub.
Whirlpool CEO Mark Bitzer says the future Perrysburg site will be a critical supply hub for the company's 5 other Ohio plants.
So it gives us supply reliability, and it gives us a cost efficiency, and basically allows us better control of the destiny.
Well, on a 2-week recess, U.S. Reps Marcy Kaptur, Bob Latta, and Senator Bernie Moreno were there.
Thank you for making and continuing to make these kinds of investments. It shows that our policies are working, that by driving prosperity to working Americans, that our tariff policies working, our tax policies are working, our regulatory policies are working.
Also making the trip to Clyde, United States Trade Ambassador Jameson Greer.
I love to leave Washington and come to a place like this, trying to create the conditions for a manufacturing boom. So when I come here, I see what's happening, I see the workers, I hear about the investments, I know the plan is working.
This marks Whirlpool's latest investment in Northwest Ohio, following a $300 million investment in the Clyde and Marion facilities in October 2025. The new plant in Perrysburg is eyeing to open by the end of the year with a ribbon cutting. For now, in Clyde, I'm Jack Crum, WTOL 11.
Nice. Injection molding in America? Holy cow.
Cool. Very cool. By the way, that solar plant, you're right. They got almost 11 million in federal grant money. They opened up the company in 2019, shuttered it in 2024, and and they moved. All they did was, now they're still around. They just rebranded.
How many moved out of country?
Yeah. They're just buying Chinese stuff and putting their name on it.
So they got rid of they got an injection of $11 million to start the company and made it look like they were going to make stuff here, and figured they couldn't because
just took the money and ran.
And took the money. Now they're just repackaging Chinese crap. Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I had to look that up when you said that. I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what. Yeah, they definitely, it was a scam.
Yeah, there's tons of those companies. Usually a lot of them were pretty quick. Within a couple of years, they were already shuttered, and all the money was gone. And they weren't loans; they were gifts.
Yep.
It wasn't quite as bad as the PPP loans, we find out, but it still was pretty bad. And I was hoping I was wrong, but I kind of knew I wasn't. So good. This sounds like I may have heard this. Somebody out there that wants to make America great again.
Yeah.
Almost like you want to make it less, maybe a little bit uncomfortable to make things out, or a little bit less profitable. It doesn't have to be completely reversed, but if you just take it down by a little bit, where it's a little less profitable to send it out overseas than it is to make it here, this is kind of what happens. Now, do we have the workers to fill these positions?
Well, it's not a huge amount. It's 150. For a place like Toledo, there should be 150 people that want a decent paying job, right?
Again, let's hope they're decent paying jobs. It's going to have to be to get people to come there.
Right.
The labor market's pretty thin right now, and it's not because there's not people. It's because there's a lot of people that aren't looking at these jobs, and they'd rather sit home and collect start a medical transportation company in Columbus instead of for Somalians. There's a challenge, I think. Half the problem is getting companies to invest in American factories, and then the other half to me is filling those factories.
Sure.
Legal immigration, how's that?
Well, that would be a solution.
That's where we've always gotten it from, almost always over the years.
Sure. Yep.
Irish, Italians, Polish, they all started with, laying bricks or, doing the labor intensive parts. And a lot of those people are now Spanish speakers, and
well, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I don't care what they speak as long as they come in legal.
Assimilate. Learn our language.
And they want to assimilate.
Yes. And
I don't even care. I mean, I do want everybody to learn English, obviously. But for older people, it's hard. But as long as they want their kids to assimilate, at the very least.
Yes. And I guess, I'd like you to assimilate, but if you don't, then that's your problem. Don't ask me to, press 1 for English and 2 for Spanish.
But, well, there's a lot of that, right?
Yeah, and that's been going on for decades. But that's kind of where I'm like, well, if you don't want to assimilate, I guess that's fine. But then you're going to have to deal with how you're going to get through society. Are you going to be able to work at a plant like this if you don't assimilate? It's going to be a lot harder. And then you have companies enabling them by giving them translations, and I see it a lot on the construction sites.
Things in Spanish.
Well, companies are. I did a safety training, and does anyone need a Spanish speaker? But a lot of the companies are hiring. They're kind of either they're finding somebody they can trust to do translation, or they're actually using technology,
right?
And using translators on site, because you're trying to get somebody to do some craft, some trade work. You got to be pretty specific, or things can go wrong pretty fast. So you got the language barrier. It a lot of times can hurt. So it makes it harder for you to be a good employee. So assimilate. Just like your country would expect me to do if I moved there.
You wouldn't get hired in their country.
No, that's why I always say, if I go to Japan to live, I usually, unless I already have a job, I'm probably going to have a hard time finding a job.
Yeah.
Because they're going to give it to the Japanese people.
Oh, if you go to Sweden or Switzerland, you're going to have a hard time finding a job.
You're good until you open your mouth. And as long as you don't have that accent, they're going to discriminate against you. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's almost like it's not an American thing. It's almost like a human condition, almost.
Well, I think America's probably the best at it.
We are the most diverse country in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, more power to them. They're investing in Ohio, hundreds of millions of dollars. They've got 5 plants. Now they have 6 plants. This is going to help feed those plants with parts and stuff. And this is great. It's the dream. It's the dream. It's what we've been saying now. We just got to perform. Next is kind of along the same lines. This one's a little more familiar to me. This is actually a place I've been to before. This is next story from WBSN Channel 10 out of Columbus area. Is Anduril begins production of autonomous military drones amid tech and workforce expansion. Listen to a little clip here from them on the drone factory in Ohio.
Production for the first autonomous drone in Ohio will start this month at the Anduril factory in Pickaway County. All week long, we've been telling you about the $1 billion development located in Pickaway County.
But there are challenges ahead. 10 TV reporter Kevin Landers was there today as they opened the facility to the public.
556 days. That's how long Anduril says it will take to design and fly an autonomous drone like the one you see behind me. But will it help the military end forever wars? I put that question to the company's COO. Do you believe that these autonomous drones can prevent a forever war?
That's a tough question, and it's a real strategic question for politicians
he wants to
answer. What we're really focused on is putting the best possible technology in the hands of the warfighters.
That means building an autonomous drone like this one called Fury. The company says while the Department of War has experience with drones that can talk to each other through artificial intelligence, that's not what will be built here.
We're not in a position where we're developing these systems to make decisions on their own. We're saying let a warfighter make that decision, let a commander make that decision, and then have the best possible weapons for them to use.
150 drones a year are expected to roll off this manufacturing floor. Who do you anticipate selling your product to eventually?
Well, out of this factory, we're primarily supporting the U.S. Department of War, but internationally we support allied nations, aligned nations in Europe and East Asia, all over the world, Australia included.
250 employees will soon occupy this space. 4,000 are planned over the next decade. The absence of robotics was deliberate as the company purposely built a flexible manufacturing layout so it can adjust to changes in production. Once the drones are built, Anduril says it plans to do test flights at Rickenbacker Airport. Reporting from Pickaway County, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
I want one.
I know. Do you think they intentionally made it look like a great white shark from the front?
You know what? That's hilarious. That's
kind of does, doesn't it?
It does. That's a good observation there.
I think that was intentional. Yes, you got to make it scary looking too, and it looks really cool. But I mean, like looking from the front shot on the article, it looks just like a shark.
They should have put some nostrils on there.
Oh yeah,
it's got the eyes, the mouth. It needed nostrils. It'd be awesome.
They're missing a great opportunity for marketing. Think about World War II planes.
They could have painted the teeth on there too.
Like I've seen on like P-51 Mustangs and stuff like that. They put like, come on.
Everybody's got to go on the website and check this out.
Yeah,
the link will be there.
Send an email. Say we need teeth on it. It needs to have shark teeth painted on the outside with like kind of a sexy girl on like riding on the side of a bomb too.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's let's go back. Let's call way back to World War II. And they had some creativity when they were bombing
put the pinup girl on there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The pinup girl on top of the bomb. Yeah, absolutely. That's classic. Or the Rosie the Riveter kind of,
Yeah, no, she didn't build this.
That's true. Well, there might be some chicks.
She's back home building stuff and screwing up industry.
Oh boy. But yeah, it's cool. I actually was at this facility. I got a customer that's doing some work in there, and I drop off some material. I call the guy up and I'm like, hey, I've never been to this site. What am I going to expect? Because, it was pretty easy to get into. This is a couple weeks ago, at least 2-3 weeks ago. He goes, well, what's pretty easy, but recently they've put in some new security. I went, I wonder why. Figure out what's going on that. Yeah. Iran.
It's so sweet to hack that thing and fly it home.
Like the week we bomb Iran. Hey, they put new security at the drone factory. No kidding. It's literally like a mile or two away from Rickenbacker Airport, the military base there.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
$1 billion investment. They've got big ass buildings going up all around this. Probably more data. But this is a tech industry for a mega site that I can get on board with because there's some jobs here. It's not a data center. It's pretty cool. I couldn't see the shark though. They wouldn't let me see the shark.
I think you would have to go through some background checks there, Robert.
Yep. I have a background check.
NDA. We wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Yeah, for the show. That's why I did it. I didn't sign the NDA for the show. But on those notes, I think we're done with the show.
Oh,
I think it's over. Are we done? I got no more stories on the list. I've already talked for way too long, plus extra. And I just want to thank everybody for listening. We appreciate the time you give us. We know your time is valuable, so we appreciate listening. But ask just one thing in return. Share the show. Tell your friends, tell your family. You got people that you think would be interested in this or benefit from it. Let them know. Send us an email, crookedrivercast.com. Go to the website. Go to the website, crookedrivercast.com, and then send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Every Monday when the show drops. And on that happy note, we will talk to you next week.
Peace.